What's going on, guys? Welcome to Tampa Bay Cop Talk. I'm Darius.
I'm Andrew.
I'm Jordan.
David.
All right, as we kind of zigzag our way through it, Liverpool just walked all over Spurs. I mean, it wasn't really a walkover, but it kind of was, but it kind of wasn't. But the better team lost. It depends on who you ask. I don't know. It depends.
Who knows?
Who knows? Point is, Liverpool won 2-1 against Spurs, top of the table, top of the Premier League. Oh, damn, that feels so good. 3 points up after the win. All right, guys, let's just go straight into it. Jordan, why don't we start with you, my guy? Enter a word to finish the following statement. Spurs are blank.
Yeah, they're shit. But to contextualize that, because
right.
I don't want any of maybe my Spurs friends that listen to this to be turned off immediately. If that's the second best team in the league, right? The league is very, very poor. Like, it's not a high quality league, in my opinion, right?
And I don't want to turn them off, but if that's what second place is,
well, because here's the thing for me. If you're Spurs and you show up at Anfield, right? First of all, this unbeaten record, and I didn't know going to the match, like we tied Jose Mourinho's, or Jurgen tied Jose Mourinho's record for
it's José, Jordan. You
whatever.
Can't call him Jose.
Whatever.
He's Portuguese, man.
Tied his record, right? So Jose Mourinho has a chance. I'm going to call him
Jose
the whole show.
Call him Jose just to make him matter.
He knows he has this record on the line, and he's coming into a game against a team that has 0 center backs playing center back, right? And by design, then, is missing the best defensive midfielder in the world, right? And then also, all the players are just worn out because there's no other options on the bench. They're absolutely tired. So you go into a match. It's your chance. You get a one-off chance to beat Liverpool at Anfield and the record before they tie your personal record, and you decide to park the bus when you have arguably 2 of the best attacking players in the history of the Premier League in form, playing the best they ever had. And I just think if that's the way you show up to that game, given the context of the game, you're shit.
At the very least, pedestrian or some other form of
pathetic.
Riding a bus. Like
Pathetic. Yeah.
Pathetic? I think pathetic might be a little harsh, but David,
Yeah,
where are
it's a
you
little
thinking?
harsh.
Spurs
are the same as they've always been.
Dang.
Sorry.
I feel like that's a bigger insult, actually.
Sorry, until you aren't what you've always been, you are, right? Like, we weren't champions, and then we are. And I get that you can change that, but they've been in this position with these players for a long time now, like going back to 6-7 years. Shit ain't changed. They ain't getting that much better. I don't think Harry Kane
ain't, guys. It's serious.
I don't
Sorry,
personally
go ahead.
think, I get it. Harry Kane's a very talented footballer and he's a great scorer, but is he a big game player? Does he scare me? No. He's just like a guy who's going to go out there. He's going to do some good things. He's going to dive a whole bunch. He's not going to get criticized for diving at all.
By the way, but I just want to, when he had got that head injury, did you see the replay on that? He heads the ball away. See,
He's
just going to
watching
one.
it.
It's going to one of our players, and then he goes, "Oh, my head." Anyways, continue. Sorry, I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, they
No,
just got
right.
done having the discussion about concussion protocol, and the IFAB ruled on that today. So, no one was going to be like, "Oh, he clearly faked it."
Yeah, right.
Plus, he's English and he gets away
Yeah.
with everything. I'm not a big Harry Kane fan. In case you can't tell, he's not in my top 20 players personally. Just I don't like him. Is world class and definitely in my top 20. But I think when you look at what this team is, this Spurs team, I mean, what they said the stat on the broadcast, how many of their goals come from one of those 2 players creating it?
And him as the
22 out of
creator
25.
for much
22
of it, right?
out of 25. The rest of them are fucking
I
worthless.
took
Pardon
notes
me.
on
If they go down, if they lose Kane and then it's just all on Son, they get a lot easier to play against. If they both go down, I don't even know where they get goals from at this point. So to me, look, they are just what they are. They're a good side. They'll be in that mix for top 4 easily because they have enough quality. To do
Called
that.
it before the season started. Just saying, called it. Y'all bitches didn't. I called it. Okay, go ahead.
What'd you call?
You
You
also
were
said,
terrified of
No, I
Spurs.
called
Yeah.
Spurs. I called Spurs top 4, homie. I called it.
but you also,
But I also called West Ham going down and
but
else
you
did I
also
call going
said,
down?
Everybody had Spurs top 4 because they
no,
should
y'all
be
bitches
there.
didn't.
No,
Y'all
we did
didn't.
not have Spurs top 4, but
I didn't-
Darius,
that's not
run
like
the
a
tape.
big
Run
jump.
the tape. Run the tape.
All right,
All right,
but
so what? I had him fifth.
Guys,
not like
it's
a
not a
huge
big
jump.
deal, guys. Chill,
Anyway.
chill. It's just a
we'll
joke.
talk about you and
Anywho.
Spurs. We'll talk about you and Spurs. soon
Yeah,
enough.
you go next.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do find it funny though. You bring up Harry Kane, the fact that it was a game where Harry Kane was just non-existent, but he's supposed to be this player who's linking play. He plays a false nine better than Roberto Firmino, and look how that
He's supposed to be this huge player in the game, and he's up against a child who they're saying he's going to exploit all night. And where was he? They had
he
two
was in
shots
Rhys
on
Williams'
goal all
left
night,
pocket.
and one of them
That's
was
what it
the goal.
Yeah.
A 19-year-old put him in his back pocket. You're going to tell me that's this awesome, incredible player? Like, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong.
All right, no,
Press pause
Andrew,
on that.
I'm going to set you up now. Like, let's get into the fact that we've been kind of dumping on Spurs, but we do understand they're 3 points off the top. They have been a lot better. Yeah, that's where we're kind of starting. They have been a lot better than I think a lot of people have expected.
Oh, you just
So,
noticed that,
Andrew.
David?
Andrew,
Sorry.
Andrew,
For
buddy,
those of you listening
buddy
at
DL.
home,
I'm trying
Jordan
to
in the
set you up.
Zoom.
I'm trying to set you up, man. I'm trying to make you
Sorry,
look
go
good.
I've been drinking.
Give me the
Trying to
word.
help you.
Give me the word.
Go ahead.
Spurs are what? What are they?
Go ahead, say it.
Progress / title challengers.
Just say they're good. That's all I had to
Just
say.
say
man.
They're decent. They're good. They're good.
decent.
They're not great. They're good. They're good. They're good enough. Listen,
enough.
guys.
Sure.
I
All right, go ahead.
think we would be deluded to say that on another day, like, okay, it's like that movie Miracle. You've seen that movie, right? With Kurt Russell, and he says in the pregame like speech, he's like, 9 times. If we play these fucking Soviets 10 times, we lose 9, but today we win. It was one of those things. Like, if they play us 9 times out of 10, they will lose 9 times. But the point being is that in the beginning of the second half, what's his name? Bergwijn, the Dutch guy.
Yeah.
He scores that. It's 2-1, right? Obviously, I at the same point, like countering my own point, Mane hits the bar too. So like I get that, but that's football though, right? So
No, exactly.
they were
it's
not
football.
that far off. Kane also had a shot. What was that, header or shot in the second?
Well, he had
just
the
after
grabber right in front. Yeah.
after the Dutch guy as well. So when Mourinho says that bullshit, which is complete bullshit and complete mind games of we were the better team, that's what he's pointing to. That's what that's what he's feeding Spurs fans. The Spurs fans that are the same fans that may or may not take the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. That's what I'm talking about. The gullible ones. You see what I'm saying? Right?
All
Okay,
right.
let's move on.
I don't know.
Let's keep it
No,
on.
I think he says
let's keep it on
that-
the quality of play though. Like I do
So
want
the
to. I
quality
do
play
want to
is-
stay on that.
There is no quality of play. It's Jose Mourinho. Mourinho
And that's
doesn't-
what
No,
I
but
wanted
that's
to get
why
at.
you're wrong. That's
So
why
this
you're
is
wrong.
where I do want to give some credit to Jose Mourinho and what Spurs did today. Because if you go and look at the XG on each individual chance,
Ooh,
you
XG.
probably say they had the better chances because they're through on goal 3 times and they screw it up twice. So
Yeah.
if you're looking at just that, okay, maybe they have the better chances, but who had more of the ball, who had more chances, who had more shots, who had more opportunities that didn't result in the shots?
But that's like
All
a Pep
Liverpool.
Guardiola argument, right? Where
No, but okay. So
Guardiola's
by
argument
that-
is always
It's
like,
two
I
different
have
things to
more of
look
the
at.
ball, right? You know, so no, I get you. I'm just saying on another day, if this was a draw, for example, obviously we'd be singing a different tune. They
Sure.
played well enough to get a draw. They probably deserved a draw at the end of the day.
Probably.
And they could have nicked it. They really could have nicked it. And I wouldn't have been surprised based on their performance in the beginning of the second half, the first 15 minutes. That's because at the end of the day, before the game, if you told me they would have nicked it, I would have been like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's Jose Mourinho.
We would have
Had
looked
been
at
any
it
other
exactly
fucking
like this.
Yeah, because they would have
Counterattack,
played exactly.
a few
Exactly.
balls and they
that
get some
bullshit.
goals.
And I've been
That's
trying
what
to
we would
tell
expect.
people, even my dog, whoever would listen, that this would be a thing. You know, I try to explain it to my boss during our little Christmas party during the game. Fucking who schedules a Christmas party during a Liverpool game? Unfortunate. It is what it is. That said, look, I'm trying not to be delusional, but at the same time, I'm about to give you some delusional shit. The league is done. We won it. It's done. It's over.
Oh my God.
It's over. It's done.
Spurs are amazing, guys. How
no,
did we
listen.
even come away with 3 points? We were lucky to.
We were lucky.
We're gonna
and
run
now
over
it's
the
done.
league.
No, it's done, bro. It's done.
over.
Listen. This is
Vince Carter.
not. I don't. Did you just mute yourself? I don't even know.
No,
what happened.
he's-
Like,
I
let me
know,
tell
the
it's-
you.
GIF. I hate you.
Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what
the
happened.
gift first.
This is a Leicester performance. When I say Leicester, I mean Leicester of like Christmas last year where we won 4-0. And at that moment, that game, we won that game. I was like, league's done, son. Done like a Cinnabon. Done. I can go to the mall. I can chill. I can hug my wife. All that bullshit. This game, we won this game, barring a Mane Salah, I don't know, career-ending injury or
Why
something.
would you even put that
like
out
that,
into the universe, man? Come on.
or
Yeah,
the
don't
universe,
speak
or whatever, some zombie apocalypse. The league is done, homie.
All
I
right.
mean,
When you have that mentality and you win in that way, Bobby's back. All this shit is done for me. Is done. That said, I'm still gonna be nervous as hell, but for me, my alcoholic brain is done.
You're going to be nervous when they play West Brom because that's
Yeah,
who
man.
you are.
It's Sam Allardyce. That's why.
I mean,
But
here's the. I want
it's
to
done, homie. It's done. We won.
I want to like, to start like to break down Spurs and like move on to the Mourinho post-match thing where he said the better team lost or whatever. And it's really easy in any football match that there is when the team that loses to look at their chances and go, oh, they could have finished those. But 90% of winning football is finishing your chances. It's not like this other realm of football where like, it doesn't matter if you don't finish your chances. We can play this what if game. Well, hey, what if Trent Alexander-Arnold pinged the cross right on Mane's head instead of into the center back? Like, let's do this for every single part of the game. But like you brought up, Mane hits the bar. Mo scuffs a couple shots. Curtis doesn't get proper contact on the shot he has. It's no different than Bergwijn being one-on-one and hitting the post. It's no different than Harry Kane heading into the ground. It really isn't. Now, Darius, I'm sure that expected goals on those two chances comparative to, the chances I brought up for Liverpool are much different, but I didn't see the expected goals chart. I imagine that we probably came out on top in that department. Did you see it? Because you brought it up. Did you see it?
No, I'm just bringing up the point when you look at how the ball is set up. You got a through ball away, nobody in between you and the goalie. You're going to say, all right, well, you would expect a world-class finisher to go and finish that.
Yeah.
Bergwijn, I'm not saying he's a world-class finisher. I'm just saying that you would expect a professional, an amateur footballer
Dude, he
to go
threw on
and
goal
finish
and he
that.
hits a post. It's unlucky.
And he does it twice. So that's the only point. But sticking with the quality of play and how things go, Liverpool dominate the ball. They end up winning off of a couple of luckier goals. So that kind of lends to where Mourinho comes back, and the most goal, we can't argue that's a little lucky.
It's fine, but
it's a deflected one. And then off of the corner, you get the Bobby.
He's
goal.
a leprechaun. He creates his own luck.
He creates his own luck. So that lends to Jose Mourinho in the post-game saying that the better team did not win. He not only said that he thought Spurs were the better team, he said that he felt it would have been a poor result if they drew. He felt they were far and away the better team. When we look at what happened during the course of the game, and when we look at what these two teams are, did Jose Mourinho have anything to do in this other than just trying to wind people up and just be the Jose Mourinho that we know and love?
Can I go? Or no, someone else go.
David.
Let me breathe. Go ahead.
I think when Mourinho says that he thinks the better team lost, he means that. Do you know why? Because his definition of football is dog shit. He likes shitty football.
Guys,
likes
David
to park
has
the bus.
8 million dogs. He knows what dog shit is. He got it.
I'm saying he likes crappy football. He likes to park the bus. This is actually was his game plan, right? Like, this isn't a mistake. This is how he set them out to play.
Absolutely.
And to him, the fact that they got this close, yeah, they are the better team because they executed their tactical plan. But we're set up to play the way that we did, and we won the game. So who's the better side? You tell me. Personally, I'm going to go with the side that plays proper football, that takes their best players in the world, they have some in their squad, and they go and they play inventive, creative, attacking football meant to score goals, meant to make it exciting for the fans. Not sit in your own half with Eric Dyer and fucking punt the ball all over the place. But that is what he likes. So when he says that, I honestly do think that he means it.
He believes it.
I don't agree that's what he likes, though. I think he comes into that Spurs team and he looks at the squad and he goes, my defense is shit. And I have to overcompensate for that. And I believe that I have enough ability up front that can make up for the overcompensation at the back. That's what I
Tomato,
think. it was.
tomato. At the end of the day, that's what he chose.
No,
And
but
then-
because when he was first at Chelsea, like he first arrived, he played progressive football. When he was at Porto, they played progressive football. At certain times in Real Madrid, he played progressive football. But then there came a point where Mourinho got caught up by other managers, and he couldn't just get away with it with his personality and charisma and his mind games. And he actually had to have a bit more tactically, and he couldn't just buy leagues. And he was like, oh, shite. And that's when he became second stint at Chelsea, park the bus, play like a dinosaur. And then at Man United, same thing. But I think he wants to play progressive football with the Spurs side. I was talking to my Spurs friend, and I was like, why didn't you guys attack a team that has two, non-center backs in the center of the pitch, and you have, the greatest Premier League duo? And he's like, we played 7 games progressive football, and now we just play like this. And I think through those 7 games, what he found out was, I can't trust my defense, so I'd rather overcompensate on the back end. He did play like a dinosaur today. I'm not saying that he didn't set up with that intent today. I just think in the grand scheme of things, Jose Mourinho does want to play football, but Spurs' talent level isn't there where he can.
yeah, and that comes with transfer windows and whatever nonsense X synergy word or whatever. So give him time, so to speak. But listen, I wish there was an objective way to determine which team is better. I'll go
There
with
is.
that team.
You play a match and you win 3 points.
Exactly. There you go. There's your fucking answer. That's
Team
it.
with
Done.
more goals. That was the better.
I was like,
team.
do we need to read the stat sheet?
Yeah, right.
There it is. Done. So I don't give a fuck about nonsense about possessions or chances or fucking XG, whatever. Who wins the fucking game or whatever. We go from there. If it's a draw, then we can, argue semantics or whatever, right? At the end of the day, we
obviously-
won. And Bobby,
Sorry.
I'm so happy in terms of the confidence. Obviously, Darius, you are the host, but I would love to talk about our youngins on the team.
Well, we're gonna get to them. We have
We're
one
gonna get
last
to that.
note
Okay, sorry.
on Jose
drinking.
Mourinho. We promise we're not gonna make this into a Jose Best, but we did see at the end of the broadcast, if you're paying attention, when the managers kind of dap each other up, walk off, there was a little bit of a conversation between the two managers, and that's when the whole "we were the better team" thing started. He says that directly to Jurgen Klopp. So it's not like he's hiding behind the media. He said it with his chest. Like, he wholly believes this. So
Yeah.
when we look at Jose Mourinho and we look at Jurgen Klopp and we look at these two guys, is this just as simple as if he's your manager, you love him. If he's not, you hate him? Because a lot of people can say that kind of thing about Jurgen Klopp. Is it as simple as that? Or is there something different with Jose? I mean, what do y'all think?
No. Oh, sorry. Someone else go.
Okay. The thing about Jose Mourinho is this.
Jose, damn it.
When he's at your team and he's managing your team, I imagine, and he brings success, you like that. I mean, the only reason Spurs fans can even stomach the fact that an ex-Man United, an ex-Chelsea manager is at the helm is this
They want
idea
trophies.
that he's going to bring them a trophy, the trophy they've been desiring for, I don't even know how long Spurs haven't won a trophy, but my whole life, basically, they haven't won a trophy. It feels like, oh no, they won like a League Cup in 2011, right? Anyways.
2008.
Something like that.
He said it with his chest and he said it to Jurgen and respect to doing that. I think it's just attempt at mind games because Jose Mourinho gets away with that with Pep Guardiola. He gets away with that with Arsene Wenger back in the day. Even Sir Alex Ferguson, he could get under their skin. But Jurgen's just an enigma to Jose, I feel like. And those type of attempts are just very see-through for Jurgen. And even for Pep Linders, like I think I just sent to you guys, I was doing lip reading of the post-game handshake, and Pep Linders told Jose to his face to don't be stupid. Don't be so stupid. While shaking his hand. So,
He was being very dismissive in it. He wasn't
He's
like,
desperate.
Yeah, he was just like, whatever, dude, get out of here.
He enjoys the moniker that he's been given, right? Like, he's got this villain type role and he loves it. He's embraced
And
it.
exactly that's
And-
what his players and more importantly his fans will like too, I think. Because
They might like to,
Listen.
but they don't know. I don't know as the Tottenham players necessarily understand the mentality that goes along with it. And it's a different
but
mentality.
they're starting to believe it. You best believe it, because Kane has been performing at X level, and it's because of Jose and his bullshit, right? And at
Is
the end
it?
of no,
Because is Harry Kane just good? Because
he's got him playing a different way. He's got him a poor man's
Well, he's
Firmino,
playing
right?
deeper, and he's
playing
more playing in
a
the
little
center
He
line.
never did that
Because-
under Poch. The point is,
Yeah,
is
because
that
they played open. They played football. That's
guys,
why.
these players, for whatever it is, these players are buying into his bullshit, and his bullshit is, oh, guys, everyone's against us. yeah, this is a siege mentality. It like perfectly, it's like perfect into his narrative. What would be detrimental to his
manager
narrative
does
if we were to say, like, if Tottenham were to win today, if Spurs won, right? If Spurs won 2-1, 3-1, whatever it was, and then the media would say, oh, Spurs are title, they're favorites for the title, this and this, that, or the other, blah blah blah. That would be detrimental to his narrative, because the narrative that he's building, Mourinho loves the underdog. He loves it. He came to us in 2014. Gerard slipped. He was a manager then, wasn't he? He was the underdog then, right? The last time he came to Anfield in 2018, he got fired, homie. So I'm not. So in that mindset, I'm thinking maybe
You look like Charlie.
He
in
already
Always
would have been
Sunny
an
with the
underdog
fucking chart with all the
anyway.
lines all over the place.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's you right now. I don't even know what you're talking about. Like, not only are all those people real, but they're all asking about their mail, Andrew.
What? No, listen, you don't get it. You don't get that. That's Jose's narrative. That's how he.
Mind game.
Want to know what Jose's narrative?
Yeah,
I'll tell
that's
you
his
what it is.
bullshit, man.
No, I'll
That-
give you his
his
narrative.
his
Listen to me
underdog
for a
bullshit
second.
mentality.
No.
Sees bullshit. That's his thing.
You know what his narrative is? He was priming it with fucking excuses before the game
Yeah,
even started. With
exactly.
that
That's so
bullshit
true.
press conference.
That's exactly his fucking
Alice
thing. And how do you not understand it? I don't get it.
I don't understand how
it.
you
You're like
don't get
laughing
it.
at me, and I'm like, bitch, I'm telling you, this is what it is.
Well, there's a
fuck
difference
they do?
though. There's a difference though, Andrew. You're
He's
saying it
already
as if
making
this is like
excuses.
brilliant. Him thinking 20 steps ahead, and we're just saying, no, he's being a scared little girl. Like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
out of here.
He's being Mourinho. He's just it's
Yeah,
it's
okay.
a
So then why
Gamesmanship.
are we questioning it?
Well,
It's
I just don't
because
think
I
it's
don't think
effective
he's
anymore.
this
No, but
brilliant,
it doesn't work.
charismatic character.
Bitch,
Yeah.
it has worked. Porto,
It has, but when's the last time it worked?
United,
15 years ago.
Inter Milan.
How did it
Fucking
work at
everywhere
United,
it's
though?
worked.
How did it work
Are
at
you
United?
asinine?
Hasn't
Come on,
worked
it's
here?
fucking worked everywhere. He's won
Did
everywhere he's
they
been.
win the league at United?
He won a Europa League. That's more than most people can ask for.
Champions League and Premier Leagues, though, is true success
To
to
be
a club
fair,
like
though,
Man
for United
United.
fans, they probably laughed at the Europa League. They were.
I
now,
was
though,
gonna
if they had
say.
to switch, they would be like, "Yo, can we get a Jose Mourinho here? Because this fucking Solskjaer guy is a
No,
joke."
actually, if
But
you ask them, they're all like, "Oh, we got to."
No,
Yeah,
no.
Mourinho
Always
got
at
knocked
the
out
level.
when they won the Europa League. Mourinho got knocked out of the Champions League to win the Europa League. By the way,
that's fine, George.
But I'm just
Well,
saying, like,
that
his-
implies
I
that they
understand all that.
It didn't
underachieved
work.
by
Still won
being
a
there in the first
trophy.
place.
Compared
didn't
to
work.
David Moyes and Louis Van Gaal and their bullshit, like that was a step up.
yeah, but Louis
Let's
Van
not
Gaal won
compare
again
to
trophies.
make
Sam
this a
Allardyce,
Mourinho
too,
show.
while
The
we're
whole
at it.
point is the man knows how to win. The man is trying to implement the same. Like he's like an old dog. He doesn't know. He doesn't.
I know.
use new tricks.
I
I
agree.
know,
He does
but
this
the game.
whatever
Okay,
worked
but
everywhere
Andrew,
else.
Andrew,
Bring
here's
it
something.
here.
Here's something though that I've got to like kind of bring up. That's gonna kind of take
don't
it off
get-
course a little bit. What was one of the things that he was crying about at the end at Manchester United? I don't have the players. We're not spending enough money. We don't have the right guys. Now he's at Tottenham, who famously don't spend money.
Yeah.
So how are you going to tell me that these mind games, that all of this stuff that he did in the media, that was the way that worked then, and then now it's going to work at Tottenham? That part of it doesn't make sense. He can't copy and paste at Tottenham and expect
Sure.
success. He has to be different. And the fact that we're seeing the same thing that we've seen for the last 15 years from him doesn't really seem to make sense, especially
Sure,
when
but
we
the
know
thing is,
the
Darius, you're
players he
forgetting
has
one
are
thing.
different.
Homie, you're forgetting one thing. Although Daniel Levy's spending money, from what I understand, which is weird because he doesn't. He's like
Compared
me.
to
He don't-
what they had been.
Yeah.
Yes,
he's
they
like
are.
me. He don't like to spend money, which I admire. But
Yeah.
but here's the thing, Darius, you're forgetting. Tottenham, they're a small club. That's it. They're a small club. So he can ride that. They are and they have always been a small club. So he can ride that
now-
mentality and use it as an underdog.
Spurs
I'm
fans
telling
who are
you.
listening. Spurs fans who are listening.
That's
we,
it.
We did all
No.
of the disrespectful stuff on the pitch. That was the most disrespectful thing.
No,
I've ever
they're a small
said.
club, bro. They're a small club. They've always
You're saying
they
they're
always
a small
have been.
club?
No,
Smaller than
absolutely.
not small
Are you
anymore.
kidding me?
They're
Are you joking? All the American
Jordan,
fans
are you agreeing
they're
with that?
Spurs
Have y'all
fans
come to
because of
levity?
Dempsey. Get out of here.
Okay,
with that.
but small club is like Hull City, Norwich,
Right.
like Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Tottenham's
they're a
at
small
least
club,
like
They're a small club.
mid-major.
Okay,
You know what
okay.
I mean?
Let me rephrase this. they're the small club out of the big clubs. How about
Yeah,
that?
but
Does that make
they're
sense?
still a big club.
That means
then.
they're a big club.
Nah, fuck no. They're small as shit.
It's
They
like
always will
calling-
be. It's fine. I hate. By the way,
This
guys,
is
if
the
you haven't
most
noticed, I
disrespectful
hate
part of it.
Spurs. I
It's
fucking
like
hate
calling
the Spurs.
Boston a small town.
Nah, they're a small club, bro.
Fucking
They're
Like,
not
are
New
you
York.
kidding?
They're small.
How many
city.
Spurs fans do you know? They're jokes.
I know a lot of
Anyway,
Spurs fans.
Like a half
I know
a
quite a
dozen
few,
at least
actually.
here in Tampa Bay. They have a whole fucking bar. They have their
Bro,
own
bro, it's
Went
all
to
because of
college with a
Dempsey,
number at
homie.
Ohio
It's
State.
all because
Don't
of
you know
Dempsey.
Dempsey?
That was like 6 years ago.
Exactly. Where'd you think? How old are they now, homie?
Oh my god, bro.
All
Whatever.
right,
Well,
okay.
They've been in the Premier League too for a really long time, and I feel like
Nah,
that
they're
makes them bigger than
Shit.
small. I just
Shit.
think the act is up and it doesn't work anymore in modern football.
Yeah,
you gotta
that's
The
have
other
kinda
thing
what we
is
get
too
at.
is that little act of his has a time frame. So if they don't win,
Yes, yes,
they're gonna all the players are gonna
1000%.
call bullshit.
1000%. You're right, David.
I
But
think
he's saying it's his second year.
I think it just ticked up right
He's
now.
gonna ride it. He's gonna ride that shit. And here's the thing: this is the opportunity for them to win the trophy. He's trying to do the league because the league is sexy. He's not gonna do it because Liverpool were boss as fuck. It is what it is. However, could he get an FA Cup? Maybe Europa League? I don't know. Maybe.
No,
Would
because
that make
City's gonna
Spurs
have
fans
those.
over the moon because they're a small club? Yeah, it would be. They'll be over the fucking move and they won't talk about. They'll talk about it for years to come. They'll tell their grandkids about it.
Okay, but if Man United
And
gets
then he
to
would be a
excited about
success
Europa
because
Leagues,
if
why
he did
can't
any one of those
Spurs?
Say again?
I said if United gets to be excited about Europa Leagues, why can't Spurs?
Yeah, that's fair. You just used United winning Europa League as a reason why he was successful at United.
I don't
That
know.
would make him
no, in
successful at-
context, guys.
Yeah.
In context,
Yeah,
the
in
fans
context of
didn't like
Spurs.
the fans in United did not like the Europa League
Oh, we broke
because of
Andrew.
what
I'm
they're
sorry.
used to. But in context, when you look over the years, that's the most successful they've been.
Yeah.
Mourinho, after Ferguson, is the most successful United manager after Ferguson.
Without doubt.
Fucking facts.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
if you're a United
doesn't-
fan,
but
you
again-
are an ungrateful little bitch right now.
All right.
Much
yeah.
like
to bring it full
much like a
circle,
Real
Andrew,
Madrid or Barca
Andrew,
fan.
to bring it full circle, going back to what we kind of established at the beginning. If that's your second place, though, doesn't mean it's good. So
I
just the
never
fact
said that. I never said that.
but that's kind of the same thing. Like you're bringing up the fact that he was the best since
I'm
Sir
saying-
Alex Ferguson at United. That's
Homie,
not
listen,
saying much.
This is very simple. This is very simple. I have a few Spurs friends, right? I'm like sympathetic to their cause. It's like they've been shit for so long, and they get a little chocolate, and they get really excited. They're like, "Oh, this chocolate ice cream is pretty good," although
Did the
it's
same about
expensive
Arsenal
and
fans?
it's shit. Like they're excited at the prospect of getting like I don't know, like VIP shit. Like they're excited at that prospect.
And they should
Right?
be.
So I understand all that
Yeah.
because as a Liverpool fan, we've been down that fucking road.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got some trophies here and there, but like for example, the league, we won it last year for the first time in 30 years. We've been down, so I'm sympathetic to them. And here's the thing: all the Spurs fans, you talk to them, they're like, "Oh, this football." They will all admit this football is terrible. Jose Mourinho's football is anti-football or 16th century, whatever the fuck you want to call
They
it. But at the end of the
recognize
day-
they signed a deal with the devil. They know what they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, exactly. But at the end of the day, if it's bringing W's and 3 points, they don't give a fuck. They haven't had a
I don't-
trophy in God knows long, right? So they're all about that life. So
I
I
don't
understand
think-
all that. And that's
I don't
all I'm
think
saying
Jordan
is that
or
they have a
I-
chance. And y'all are like poo-pooing them. And I'm just
No,
like,
no, 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 no.
y'all are
no, no, no.
deluded.
Let's get one
Y'all are
thing
deluded
straight.
if you don't say that. If you don't see it.
No. We're
Well,
not
we got
telling
less than a minute.
Spurs
What?
fans. We're not telling Spurs fans how to feel about Spurs. We're telling you, Andrew,
There you
how to
go.
feel about Spurs. We're telling you that you are wrong. They can feel
David.
however they want, and they should be excited.
They
have a
should
good
back their
football
team,
side.
100%.
You, on the other hand,
Listen, David,
Have higher
I just see it.
expectations,
I just see
Andrew.
it. I just see it. I see the thing. Listen, I just said, X minutes ago that the league is done.
All right,
We
wrap
won the
this
damn
up.
thing.
I'm gonna cut you off. Let's go.
We won the damn thing. That don't mean I don't see reality. That's all I'm saying.
All right, B.
I'm
We done
in
wrapped it
reality.
up. All right, we're gonna have to take a break because we've spent all this time talking about Spurs. We actually have to talk about Liverpool at
Why
some
can't we
point on
talk
this
about Liverpool?
podcast.
That's all I want to do, Darius. That's
All right,
I
guys,
wanna
we're going to
do.
take a quick break. Here is a quick message about something good that we're doing this holiday season. We are doing a toy drive. Why don't you guys take a quick look about what we're doing? Hey, what's going on, Tampa Bay Cop Talk family, friends, and fans? Darius here. I am excited to tell you guys about something that we're doing this holiday season. So, Liverpool, we're the team that's all about you never walk alone. We take care of each other, we take care of others. when you're a Liverpool fan, that's a part of it, right? So one thing that we're doing this holiday season, Tampa Bay Cop Talk, we are doing a toy drive. We're going to help a number of families and especially kids in the area who need a little bit of extra joy this holiday season. And we're really excited to put this on. You guys came through with some huge efforts when it came to the food drive we did for Thanksgiving. We raised over 500 pounds of food thanks to your efforts. And now we're looking to do something similar. So we're going to be able to do virtual donations through Bible-based Fellowship Church. So we've partnered up with them this season to be able to go in on their website, and all you got to do is go to their website, click on the Give tab, go to Give Now, and then there will be a drop-down option to say where you're going to be donating the money to. So that's going to be the Tampa Bay Cop Talk Toy Drive. Just put in that information, donate as much as you want, and all of the money is going to go to the kids. It's not going to be just us, cheering because Liverpool, top of the league, through into the knockouts in Europe. It's not just that. We're going to make sure that we spread the joy this holiday season. All right, appreciate you guys, and make sure that you tell somebody, Merry Christmas, Everton. Up the Reds. See ya. All right, guys. Now that we are back, let's go ahead and talk about the team we thought we were going to actually spend more time talking about, Liverpool. They actually won the game, the winners, the worst team, I guess, whatever. So when we look at what this Liverpool team is, they're not set up the way we expected this season coming in. You had Alisson back, but then the back line, you have a central defensive midfielder in Fabinho, and a literal child, 19-year-old Rhys Williams gets his first Premier League start. And guys, nearly a shutout from Rhys Williams. You had one issue with the offside, not offside for the goal for Son. Other than that, he was pretty much perfect. And Liverpool ended up winning the game 2-1. So first thoughts, Andrew, we'll start with you. What were your thoughts on Rhys Williams today?
It's very simple. He didn't do anything wrong. And to me, he didn't do anything, to write home about. And that's what you want, because at the end of the day, that means you're good enough to play at this level. The only thing I would say is that sometimes he had the ball and he almost did a Matip run. You remember Matip where he runs forward, like 20 yards and he passes the damn ball.
Everybody pulled a leash.
Yeah. But here's the thing though. He tried to do that, but he was like, he was like looking for.
I think everybody was in his ear.
Yeah, and
don't go.
Yeah, and that's fine, and that's fine. And there was a couple times where he had the ball and he tried to pass it, and he apologized, and I'm like, "What are you apologizing for?" I was drinking, so I wasn't sure what he was apologizing for. Point being is that maybe a tad bit of confidence, but that's fine though. It's a top of the table clash. It's at home.
He's 19.
He's 19. All that stuff. I'm nitpicking. It's like when you talk about a movie and you say, but the family didn't eat dinner and do their dishes. Like, what are you complaining about? Like, they left the door open. This is a nitpick, right? It's not realistic, right? So it's okay. It's okay. That's the only thing I would say. And I would imagine, a game film or talking to Klopp and the boys, and that he would get a bit more, confidence and so on. But I think he did fine for wasn't that his Premier League debut?
First Premier League start, yeah.
Yeah, he did well in the Champions League, especially, away from home and all that. And obviously, Premier League is a big one, and the 2,000 fans, it must be mind-blowing for a 19-year-old kid. So kudos to him. And shit, I couldn't have done that. I would have shit my pants before kickoff. And I have pipe problems. It is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, he was really good on the aerials. And as you mentioned, he made a little bit of a Joel Matip push forward through the defense a couple of different times. He also had a really nice long ball going to the left side in the first half when Liverpool were attacking the Kop end. He looked pretty good on that. But just overall, David, what did you take from the performance of one young Rhys Williams?
I thought it was all in all encouraging. I do think he did some things to write home about. He went up against two of the best attackers in the Premier League. And he took the ball off of Harry Kane at least 6-7 times. Yeah, I thought that I was going to mention that same ball that you did there, Darius, where that was at least a 40-yard ball where he dings it right into Robertson's feet. I thought all in all he was pretty good. for a 19-year-old kid, I mean, you're not holding the bar at, did he score a goal? Did he, commit some game-saving tackle or whatever? He had one moment, where he should probably be a little bit tighter to Son there on the goal. But if you look at the play, there's a guy coming across him too, so he can't just let that guy go necessarily. He gets caught up in it, gives Son a little bit too much space, and it keeps him on. I don't think it was offside personally. To me, if you got to draw the line, it's fucking onside. And so it's a goal to me. I didn't mind I just don't like the inconsistent implementation of VAR. But all in all, like, he's 19. Things like that are going to happen. But I think his performance was real strong. And like you said, he was very good in the air. I got no complaints about Rhys Williams right now.
And let's talk about his hair. I mean, he deserves to be on the GQ cover next month.
Are you just doing this because he got his long hair?
He's Virgil Light.
Yeah, he's Virgil Light, almost like a Bud Light.
Fair enough.
Like platinum.
All right, what did you think about Mr. BLL of Virgil van Dijk, Jordan?
I thought it was better than good. I thought it was great. And just to ask Andrew real quick, did you hear Henderson's post-match interview?
Dude, I was
yes or no? It's just yes or no.
No.
Okay,
I was too busy dancing.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine if you didn't. So here's information to the contrary about him apologizing. What Jordan Henderson said in his post-match press conference that he was most impressed by is that Rhys Williams was talking everyone else through the game. Yeah. Like he was telling everyone else what to do. He was very talkative. He was very active and part of the game.
A couple of times.
Yeah. So he wasn't apologizing. He was probably saying, you need to get wider so I can play you the ball. So the fact you talk about confidence, that to me is overwhelming confidence to come into a side like that and just start barking, I think Carragher talked about it. Like the one thing he did.
Sure. But did you feel that? Like, were we?
Yes. Oh man. There was a couple of times where he
passed the ball and he would it was almost like, oh, my bad. Or like he would go, let's say 10 yards and then he immediately played it back. And then he turned around like a puppy dog. Like, oh, my bad. I didn't mean to go that far.
You don't know what
you're looking at his body language.
He might not be saying my bad. Yeah. He might be saying
I think he wants
instruction.
Here's what I think. I think he wants to go marauding farther forward. And then when he gets to that point, he hears Jurgen Klopp and Pep Linders in his head that say, if you go too far forward, Son and Kane are going to hit us on a counter. You need to stay back. And
which is fine.
What he was doing
fine for this game. Yeah.
But what he was doing really well was he was reading passes in the midfield. He had 2 interceptions, and not even just interceptions. He was blocking the play through the middle.
You got the stats in front of you?
And as far as his passing, 86% pass accuracy, 3 out of 5 long passes, like the Robbo pass, 6 out of 6 aerial duels won against Harry Kane, who 100%. Against Son, who are supposed to be really right 1-on-1 when he went into ground duels, which tells me that the team did really well in stopping that happening. There wasn't a lot of chances, and the 2 interceptions, and he talked everyone else through the game.
So we don't need to buy a center back in January. Is that what you're saying?
Here's what I was going to get onto. I've talked about it before. We haven't had one of those kids in a while that just comes into the team at the age of 18, 19 and just is like there,
Right.
And it's just like at that level. It happens in clubs all around the world. Rafael Varane, you can talk about like for days and days, teenagers who come in and just can play. You never know. He looks like he fits in. Better than anything is that he's not even next to a proper center back, and he's putting in that type of performance against one of the best attacks.
Yeah, exactly.
In the league.
Like the point is, he didn't do anything wrong in that. Again, I was drinking the entire time. I don't know. I had a work meeting.
Yeah, but
it is what it is. The point is that nothing bad happened. So that means to me, at the very least, he can perform at this level.
Well, yeah, but better than performing at this level. Yeah. He's performing at a very high level already. At this
even
level.
Better, perfect.
And that's a big part, though. To your point, Andrew. Yes, just the fact that it looks like he belongs in a side that just won the Premier League. That is a very encouraging side. But also to the point that Jordan just brought up, like when you think of what does it look like to see a star in the making, it kind of looks something like this, where you don't necessarily know that this is going to be a superstar. You see him thrown in, and then he begins to develop, but he's already at the level where it's like, if he comes back out, same thing with Queven Kelleher, right? If you throw him back out there, you're now looking at it as like Queven Kelleher.
Okay. I see you.
But like,
if you throw him back out there, you're not looking out there and panicking. You're saying, no, he's a player who's good enough. Do you want him out there all the time? Of course not. But he looks like he belongs. And at 19 years old, that's all you can ask.
Yeah. And here's the thing,
if you ask me.
And to me, and for some games now, that's how Jones looked like. Where
Very good.
He
he wasn't
service.
doing anything wrong, but he wasn't doing anything fucking magical. But to
Okay,
me,
well, now you're
tonight,
talking
no.
shit.
well, hold on, tonight is
We're gonna get to him.
no bullshit. There were some games where he was like a passenger. In
wait,
some games, I don't remember.
Before you get to
we're
before you
talking
get to
about tonight,
Curtis,
though, but
I
yeah.
want to just real quick about Rhys
Hold on.
Williams reinforce
Go
this
ahead.
point. This
Do
may
it.
have been his Premier League debut. This is not his first appearance in the team.
Far from
And
it.
he's been a part of some very impressive performances at by our back line. So this wasn't his first game and a bit lucky. This is a bit like he's already starting to prove it. And like, yeah, okay, it's his first Premier League match. He's played in the Champions League away. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah, and it goes to show that Klopp and the boys and the staff think more highly of him than Phillips, who's older, who's technically more experienced. I mean, for God's
I don't-
sakes, Williams played in sixth tier. What wasn't it? Sixth division or whatever bullshit.
I don't know if it
I'm
has
not
to be
sure.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's that they think of him higher. It's that they think of him in a different light.
Okay,
Phillips-
so different light, but in this
Listen to
particular
me.
Well, all right,
instance,
well, Andrew,
let
I'll
me
give you an
finish.
example.
Let me finish.
Yeah,
Like,
go ahead.
go ahead, David.
sorry,
Go ahead,
but like
sweetheart.
when I say in a different light, you horses for courses, right? Like you
I don't know
don't.
what that means.
It means you have different players for different scenarios.
Yep.
Right. So Rhys Williams fits into this game a little bit better because of the way Tottenham play. Whereas when you're going up against a Brighton or a Newcastle or somebody like that, Nat Phillips is probably going to be your guy because you probably don't need as much technical gift out
Right.
of your center back.
So
or
when we play West
ball
Brom,
winner.
Phillips should play because it's
Absolutely,
Allardyce?
because he's got
Okay, I
that
get you.
grit and that toughness.
That's a perfect.
He's
That's a
gonna win in the
perfect
air.
thing.
Yeah,
I
so
agree with that.
It's actually an ideal scenario for both of them, right?
Mhm.
Because you don't put either one in a situation they can't handle. You just go with what works for them.
right. No,
set him
sure.
up for success.
Right,
So
exactly.
they,
There
so
you
they
go.
succeed. And
So
you
some of the
succeed.
talk
Down.
coming into the game was that Rhys Williams was going to be the guy that was expected to start between him and Phillips simply because he has more pace. Now that was the thought on the counterattack with the way the Spurs play, especially with Son. You're looking to have a pacier center back in there. That's why when I saw what he did handling Harry Kane in those air duels and the fact that he was so good with his passing, that's where I got more excited. Seeing his all-around game. It's not like he's just a big, tall, fast guy. He looked like a complete player at the center back position. And that's where it's like, ooh, this is a little intriguing to see from a 19-year-old.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little suspect on it all because I mean,
Fine.
again, the reason being because I want to see him more against attacking side as opposed to a counterattacking
And that's
side
fair. That's fair.
to really to see if he can.
wanna
put
see him
pieces
under
in his
pressure.
pocket. There you go.
Yeah.
That's
Tall on
exactly it.
top.
Because he didn't have okay, he did well, but he didn't have too much to do, right? And the stuff
You
that
want
he
to see him
did.
against City, is what you're saying.
Thank
You
you.
wanna
David.
see
That's
him
basically
in a
it.
5-0 win against City. That's it.
That's the
That's
only way he'll
basically
prove
it. Like
himself.
I want to see him against.
You want to see him
Aguero
making
and-
You wanna
Jamie
know,
Carragher
can he
last
handle
ditch
Raheem
tackles.
Sterling
That's what you
running
want
at
to
him?
see.
Which is that's a valid concern, right?
But he had
Exactly.
Harry Kane and Son. They're the best.
Before I get a boner, I want to know he can play against these people. You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta
Gotta
He's
earn
playing-
it.
you know,
Gotta work
it's
for
getting
this.
there. Sorry,
He
I was
played the
watching
top
Big Mouth
scorer.
on Netflix earlier. I'm watching teenage like
Well, you can go
hormone
ahead.
shit.
Take your
Anyway,
bubble bath
point
or
is-
whatever. We
The
do need to get on.
degradation. Sorry.
You get
Wrap
it,
it
you
up,
get
B.
it.
All right. Well,
So we talking about Jonesy?
let's go on to Curtis Jones, the Scouser. Well, one of the Scousers in the team. The 19-year-old, he was, I thought, magnificent in this game. He was really good against Fulham. He's been on a hot stretch. Curtis Jones looks like the real deal. And man, it's been impressive to see. Is this something that we should be surprised by, encouraged by, or is this just like, he's just another world-class player? Where are we at with Curtis Jones?
David. Tell
I
us.
think he's pretty far along. I mean, look, for his age, he's far along. I don't think it's a surprise. Klopp has recognized the talent that this kid has for a while now. Certainly his technical gifts. God, when he came out at 17, 18 years old and he was doing some of the tricks that he was doing in games and he's trying to hit balls on the volley and do a lot, you could just tell that this kid was going to have massive confidence level. He's got all the technical gifts. It was always going to be about putting on a little weight so that he could compete size wise and being able to do the work, the running of being a Klopp midfielder, right? Well, we're seeing that come to life like every game now. And I don't know distance wise what he's covered, but it's got to be a pretty significant amount because at times he's just everywhere, and he wins the ball back. He's a very good, crisp passer of the ball. He's going to put it right into your feet most of the time, but he can handle, pressure. He can do a lot of different things that help us move the ball up the pitch and get into dangerous positions. And I'm not surprised. I think we're going to see a lot more of him. Is he, basically where Steven Gerrard was when he was wearing the 17? I don't know about that, but he's not far off of it. I mean, he's on a track to become the next great Scouse midfielder for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the most impressive thing about Curtis Jones to me for a while now, and it goes back to last season, he scored he scored a goal against Burnley, right? Or he was involved in a goal against Burnley.
Yeah, the second half of the season.
Restart? Yeah, during Project Restart. And like there was a chart that came out of like the build-up play, and he starts out like at the left wing back, and you see like he's just popping up in all these combinations like across the field and then down the wing. And so like that takes like a certain level of like football intelligence and also like that type of skill that you can play those quick passes. In the 80th minute or something today, he did like a flick kick outside pass to Robbo and then got into the space, took a quick touch turn and played a second touch pass into like Fabinho or something. And you see Harry Kane and Son trying to press him. And then Harry Kane just starts like jogging behind him like, oh, fuck this. But he's, the last 3 games he's put together all 95% passing accuracy or better. And he's attempting to create chances. He's coming up in the right spots. His counter pressing today, he creates that opportunity where he has the shot by just staying involved and knowing Serge Aurier is going to lose the ball because he's Serge Aurier. And yeah, he's just, I mean, again, young, but the football intelligence part and like the overwhelming confidence, borderline cockiness, like to just attempt things because, getting better is pushing yourself. And in football, pushing yourself is having the confidence in high pressure situations to try to pull stuff off like that. And if you don't have that confidence, you don't attempt it. And then you can't do it because you don't get better at it. And he has all that. And so like, he's just going to grow and grow and grow in this team. He's just getting started. It's his first season, like really properly in the senior team, like in league squad. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's at Stevie G level when he was in the 17 because Stevie was banging in goals left and right.
That's what I'm saying. He's not quite there. I mean, we don't want to compare. He's
a different player than Stevie G, to be fair. It's and like
very much so.
I can't wait to see what he becomes by the time either Klopp leaves or by the time he's like 23 or 24. And by that time we could have like a proper Scouse Liverpool team or like a proper like British Liverpool team like days of old. It could be like Kelleher in goal, Rhys Williams at the back, Nico Williams, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Harvey Elliott, and then like Curtis Jones in the midfield. And I can't wait, but he's been fantastic.
Sure.
David, I mean, Curtis Jones has been a very confident player, but what we saw from him today was also efficiency. We didn't see a ton of turnovers, a guy who's trying to step over and do a bunch of tricks and losing the ball every 5 minutes. I mean, he looked like a proper Liverpool midfielder. It didn't feel like anyone had anything bad to say about him over the last few games, and he's earned his keep. I mean, yeah, we should be excited about this guy. Yeah,
absolutely. His tactical acumen for his age is fantastic. I mean, he's plugged in and put different spots, played the way Klopp wants him to. Didn't even drop in at right back a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to have that kind of flexibility, the wherewithal at 19 to be able to go and switch positions in the middle of a game. To
trust of Klopp, to slot in at right back.
You've earned the trust of what is arguably, certainly, and I think in most of our opinions, the best manager in the world.
Yeah,
that's worth something.
Now, the only thing, I'm a little worried about, like long term, is because I remember this interview with Owen where he talked about when he was young, he played too many games or some nonsense. Again, I know sports science has evolved and whatever. I'm not a doctor. I've seen Dr. House and whatever. But anyway, I just worry that he's playing a little bit of minutes, and I understand that's because of, let's be honest, the reason why he's playing now is because of what's going on, right? So I just worry that long term when he's 25, 26, that maybe it's kind of, so to speak, bad for his career going forward. That said, what was it? Klopp that came out weeks ago. He said like, yeah, I don't think anyone's worried about if Jones plays in our first team. And he said something like, didn't he say that Jones is not, they don't call him a first team player yet or something like that to give him stick or motivation or whatever it was. But whatever, if I'm wrong about that, that's fine. The point being is that obviously, as you guys, to your guys' point, that he has that trust. And I'm just more cautious and more like, not cautious, that's not the right word, more of like, let's just give it time before, throwing these names of like, oh, he's world class, he's the next X, he's the next Y player. And I'm not saying you guys are doing that. But I'm sure there are some. I mean, I'm not a huge football consumer or Twitter football consumer, so I don't know if other fans are saying that about Jonesy. But I would hope not, because let's not talk him up like Foden.
No, but the reason
that guy.
So you bring up Foden, and it was in the outline. And the reason I brought him up was that, there was hoopla over Foden for coming in for 15 minutes and scoring tap-ins. What Curtis Jones is doing is fucking art compared to finger painting. You know what I mean? Like, this man is painting portraits of the Mona Lisa while fucking Foden's over there with the tip of his penis dipping it into finger paint and painting on a little fucking piece of paper that's taped to the wall. Sword fighting. You know what I mean? So like, someone brought it up. I can't remember which journalist, and he said, I don't know if I want to put this on Twitter, but it's hard to name a better English midfielder than Curtis Jones right now around his age group. Maybe Jack Grealish, but I don't know. I'd fancy Curtis Jones a bit more, but he doesn't have the hype. He should have the hype. He is English. He could help the English
fuck the hype,
team.
homie. It's better that he doesn't have the hype. That's what I'm saying.
Especially in England.
Not true. But that's what I was going to say about Owen. The Owen thing. Owen had way more minutes up to this point because he was getting into the England team, and he was like playing in high pressure tournaments.
Again,
so
he doesn't probably speaking early, but that's just my only concern, because I see maybe somewhat parallel. But my point is, fuck the hype. Let's have him fly under the radar until he grows into a man, and then he. If that's what you think Curtis Jones is going to do, dude, you don't know Curtis Jones. He can't even drink. Curtis Jones is the dude that's so confident he will walk in butt naked into the locker room and be like, Darius,
what's going on, guys?
1,000%.
That's right. Go ahead, take a look. Go ahead.
Why not even risk? Why risk it? Just
because he's confident as hell. That's all I'm saying is like, he's not cut the way you are. That's all I'm saying, dude.
It is who he is.
That's who he is. He's. Now, to your point, I hope he is a grounded individual, because we can see he's confident.
That's what I'm trying to say. Damn it!
You were trying to say don't get too hyped.
Let him be grounded. Let him.
That's fair.
Okay, he is grounded though. If he's in the team, and Klopp trusts him, and he's doing the work,
you would think so.
He's absolutely grounded
you have
enough.
A certain personality type, or you ain't going to be in there.
Yeah, I think that's fair. So when we look at what the midfield did in that game, and just Gini Wijnaldum as well as Jordan Henderson, really a workman type performance, and what this whole team, Curtis Jones included, have had to do over the last few weeks because of these injuries, it then begs the question, why was no one subbed off? Because that was something I realized about the 80th minute. Like, we haven't made it
from 60
yet,
onward. I was going
right.
So is he going to warm somebody?
No subs in this game. Guys, what did you make of that? The fact that nobody was subbed off.
I saw it. It was too intense.
Once we got to 80 minutes, and I think Mourinho had made all three.
All three at that point, yes.
And we hadn't made any. I was like, he's not going to change anybody.
No,
he's going to ride this thing.
Cato was ready to come in at the 90th, and then Bobby scores, and it's like, just sit here.
That was a time waster.
Yeah. And here's the thing: like, if let's assume Keita or Ox could play, like medically, they could probably play 20 minutes, right? Probably the best thing is that I'm just saying probably like that would be their maximum. Like that would be after the standard deviation, so to speak, right? Let's say it's 20, right? In reality, they should probably play like 10 or less. Like at that point, when it's that intense of a match, it's like, no, fuck it. We're just going to wait to the next one or the next one, because at the end of the day, we can't afford put Keita or Ox out there for 20 minutes and then another injury. We can't. Nah.
Well, I don't think it was about
that. The boys were fine out there at the moment.
I think it was to your original point where it's YOLO. It's like, you only living about today. You only worrying about today. You're not worried about the next match. You're just trying to win. I think like when you said it was intense, I think it was more of that mentality.
I think the other issue was who was the obvious candidate for a sub.
Maybe Ox.
I was thinking Ox
come off.
The game.
I
Like
thought
what player
Mane.
was in the game?
I'm
that you were like,
assuming.
get
I'm
off?
assuming he's healthy.
Yeah, I
if
would have
he's on the
taken off
bench.
Mane.
I would have taken off Mane too, but then Sadio
But
was one of
then-
those players though. Like he only needs like a little opening.
And then the
And
last
he was,
10
and
minutes.
he was great the last 10 minutes. too.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes he started skinning Serge Aurier. 'cause
That was
Serge
his
Aurier
best part of the
like-
game, by the
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He
I mean,
would've
it's
taken
like,
off Mane
okay,
for Minamino, but-
I would have taken him off. But then would I have?
That's
But
when
you
he
know
was
what?
at his
But-
best.
But I imagine Klopp
Crazy.
and the staff thinks that they'll have to rotate for the 7:30 against.
Oh,
Palace.
100%.
You would.
And you know they think
imagine.
that we, and then I imagine he thinks that Minamino and the boys can can do it, and
So
probably
is it a
Ox can
front
do
line
maybe
of
40 or
Minamino, Regi?
60. I don't know, man. I'm not the damn coach. The point is.
Ox is gonna be
But the
playing
point
on the
is
left
that maybe
wing.
he's thinking this shit. And it was too intense, David. Shit, I have a 65-inch television, and I was like 5 feet in front of it. I was like a meter and a half in front of the damn TV because it was too stressful. You imagine Klopp up there. He was stressed as hell. He's like, I'm not doing subs.
All right, real quick.
Me and him are spirit animals.
Yeah, real quick,
Wow.
Jordan, a word on the load management. I mean, what are you thinking about the no sub thing?
I think this is the last time he can get away with it. So he said, fuck it. And now he's going
Roll
to
with it this time.
because it's the last time before we really get into this weird schedule of ours in
Good
COVID
point.
times. And so
Yeah.
like we'll rotate for Palace. And then after that, it's going to be a mismatch every single match until players start to come back.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
So as we get ready to kind of put a bow on this one, why don't we talk about I don't know.
Like Chris.
The game-winning goal. We haven't talked about Bobby Firmino at all at this point. Roberto
Bobby.
Firmino had a dynamite header for the
Wait,
winner.
wait.
Unbelievable. Go ahead.
Can I
I know
just
what you're
say
doing.
that-
Get into it. Yes. The
There
best
it
in the
is.
world. It's backward, but the
Oh,
best
okay.
in the world is Bobby Firmino.
Fucking
Yeah.
Can I just say for like a moment when they went up, I thought Rhys got it.
Yeah.
I
Same,
did too.
same.
I did too.
So I was celebrating like it was for Rhys Williams, and then
backwards.
showing Bobby.
It's
I was like,
backwards.
oh, whatever.
It's not backwards. It's right for me.
That doesn't
Whatever.
help the audience.
It's
at
great
all.
for the audience.
Yeah. Anyways, I thought it was Reese Tube, David, though. Yeah. I thought it
Yeah,
was Reese
well, because
Tube.
Rhys was
Yeah,
like
I was
right there behind
confused.
him, so you see the hair go up as the ball is contacted, and it's like, oh, Rhys Williams with the header, and it's like, oh, Firmino, oh shit, Firmino, yes, let's go.
Yeah.
Well, like remember he had that one earlier where Robertson just puts the inch perfect ball, and he got it. I got it on frame, and Lloris just made a really nice save. And
He
I was
had
like,
two that were
man, Bobby
great
could
saves
use
by
that right
Lloris,
now.
because he also
Yeah.
had that strike low bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
the low corner.
Yep. And I was like, man, Bobby could use one of these goals right now. Like,
Mhm.
just he needs to
Listen.
get going.
It was a
Dude,
great
Bobby
performance by
did.
him.
Bobby did Bobby things, and it made me excited.
Hey,
I'll just leave
listen.
it at that.
His
I'll just
hormone
leave it at
monster.
that.
The
That's
best
it.
part, the best
right?
part was the celebration that he runs the whole length of
The
the pitch
length.
to go celebrate
Yeah, yeah.
in front of the cop for two reasons. First of all, we've been showing Bobby faith despite all the bullshit that everyone's been talking about him.
Fuck those hoes.
One of the first songs we sang when we got fans back in the ground was the Bobby Firmino song, and it fucking went off. And we started singing it again during the match. And then he puts in the goal. And I love that Bobby Firmino has the presence of mind to go pay back that love to the cop and be like, that's for fucking you. Fuck these bastards. I score goals at Anfield. Suck my dick.
And I'm sorry, but is it a coincidence that Bobby's sort of low period came when there was no fans?
Right?
I don't think so, because I think
dude,
this
he's
player,
Latino, man. He
exactly.
needs the
No,
love.
I think that this
passionate.
player more than other players needs that energy from the crowd. Like he just thrives on it. That's
He's
what
like
drives
Owen
him.
Wilson and Wedding Crashers. He
Yeah, he
needs that
needs-
enthusiasm, baby. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And beyond the
Because
goal, beyond the
in
goal,
Wolves and this one, he's a completely different person.
yeah,
Yeah.
beyond the goal, the in their space, the winning the ball back, the little connections. When he turned Højbjerg and Højbjerg was like, I got to tackle you because that was too dirty.
Just
I
grabbed
was
on.
I was mad.
Rugby guy.
I said, Pierre-Emile, you're a shit house, and anyone who says that you're a good midfielder is a fucking liar because you just ruined beautiful football. So fuck you. And you should have got a red. I know it's not a red card offense, but you should have because you ruined sex on the pitch, and I'm mad at you for it.
It was a wonderful turn though, and he's got yards of space in front of him, and then Højbjerg's just like, no.
It reminded me that
But can-
time that Stevie turned Vidic
Hold
at
on.
Old Trafford and got pulled down for the red card when we beat
Because-
him 4-1.
But can we just like tell the listener, viewer, or whoever out there that
Mhm.
the same people that diss Jordan Henderson that don't understand Hendo, that maybe these are the same or different people that don't
It's
understand
similar.
Bobby and what he does. Can
it's
we
similar,
just tell them
yeah.
like, hey guys, it's okay. I understand that you don't understand, but you need to understand because Bobby's here to stay. He ain't going nowhere.
I just think it goes back to
You
the
know?
old lesson, the old adage: form is temporary, class is permanent.
I
He
love
will
that
rise
shit.
again, and sure enough, here he is,
Yeah, here he
Yeah.
is. I love
banging
it.
and winning headers again.
Hey, he likes to score against Spurs, by the way. Like he does
He
fancy.
he
a
does.
goal
He
against
does like a
Spurs.
Spurs goal.
And a
A
header,
Spurs header,
particularly. Get
yeah.
Ever
that
since
right,
little dab
Vertonghen tried
header.
to touch his brain.
Right? Fucking, I hate Spurs. I really do. Sorry. That's why
I'm
my
not a
name's
fan
Spurs Are
either.
shit. Yeah.
I don't
Dude, I
mind
hate 'em too,
Spurs.
bro.
You
I
guys
hate 'em
hate
too.
Spurs. I don't mind them. I just like.
No, I hate them all. I hate them
It's
all.
just
I
'cause,
hate
you know,
every team in the
Andrew's
Premier
talking
League.
about like, oh, I have sympathy for them. When we were down, all the Spurs fans I knew that are American were all like, well, we were top
Laughing
four.
at us.
We were top 4. And I'm like, no, you're not. No, no, you're not. Calm
No, no,
down.
no, no, no.
In
I
5
still hate
years,
him.
the paradigm will
I hate
shift back to what normalcy is. And here we are. They have one win in 27 matches at Anfield. Oh my goodness.
I love that. I love
but
that.
anyways,
stat. Jordan,
Bobby-
keep it
I
with
think
the stats.
so.
homie.
I think if we're going to talk about the last couple of games, though, there is one guy that just like, I'm sorry, is if you don't realize how much work he does because he gets so much stick online about wasted chances, not passing, whatever. But like Salah is the spearhead of so much shit.
And it's so
insane.
weird to see because it's
the,
like
it's the volume of work. I'm like, how do you
Bro,
watch a
he put
game?
in
Not
another
only
one of those
that-
performances today, by the way, where it's like you can't come away from that game saying anything other
Anything
than
negative.
he's a wizard. He works hard as hell, and he also scores goals.
Dude, but
He
can
just
we
happens
get
to be
his
great
gym
at all three.
routine? Like, can we just get that? Like, I would be fine with that. Can we just
I
get
don't
his gym
know because
routine?
I don't want one
he's
of
a
those.
beast.
If I'm gonna have a 6-pack, I don't want that weird gap in the middle. you know?
Whatever, don't fucking matter,
Yeah,
David.
no.
He's a beast. Like the way he works on and off the ball towards defenders and whatnot. It's just you can tell from when you compare him, even when he first arrived. I mean, obviously he had that stellar season, but now he's on a different level. But not to mention, there was, I think, in the first half, he had lost the ball or a pass went haywire.
When
and
you
he
talk about when
ran
he
back.
tracked back,
He
fucking 90
backtracked. I was like,
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like that's the first time I seen you
No,
done
he
that.
did that in the
was
second
like,
No,
half
he does
too.
that.
He went to right
He
back a
does
couple
that.
of times where a ball got
Yeah.
away. He realizes, we lost it up the pitch, and he got
yeah,
back.
point is he's elevating his games in different areas. He's improving. I don't know, maybe
Mhm.
COVID's getting to him. He's like, on board, let me improve some other shit. I don't know what's going on. I like it. Let's keep at it.
He's just
Hey,
a leader, man.
He
Like, he's just
has been
unbelievable.
playing extremely well all around, not just scoring the goals. He has been
But-
a great footballer.
But let's DM his brother and ask for
Oh,
him. No
gosh.
wedding, no more weddings, homie.
Well, that's
Yeah,
usually the
well, you'd
plan.
hope
It's
not.
usually
Yeah,
one
right?
and
Just
he's
got
done.
married.
No more weddings.
Yeah.
No more parties. How about that? Let me.
I mean, the
rephrase
married
that.
guys on the call, you tell me. It's usually just one you go for, right?
Yeah,
I mean-
generally that's the goal.
Yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan. Statistics say otherwise, but yeah, that's the plan, homie.
And on
Whatever,
that note,
parties. I've been drinking, Darius. Damn it.
on that note, while we get to bad endings, let's go ahead and take a look at the league and just see what the hell is going to happen. Now Spurs are second place, 3 points down
Darius,
from
the
Liverpool.
league is done.
Chelsea are not far behind. So Mr. Buddy the Elf over here says that the league is done. It's
Homie,
pissed.
the league is
Liverpool
done.
are going to win by 1 million points. So we got your prediction. David,
done.
where are you thinking? What is the league looking like? Is it this crap or is it going to change? What's up?
I don't, there's this narrative going around that it's crap, and
The bullshit.
I don't know as it is. Like I think there's just more parity back in it, in that maybe the top 6 aren't quite as far ahead as everybody. But Jordan and I said on a podcast, I think like a year or two ago, that this shit can't go on forever. This 100 point, 99 point, 97 point seasons, this cannot go on forever. This has to snap back to sanity at some point. You got to have an 86 point title winner. Like, it's just it's going to be normal, right? And this year is that year with the fixture congestion, with just. I think everything is kind of coming back down to a level where there's a little bit more parity. You're seeing it across Europe. I think in Spain, I don't even know who's winning it. Is it Celta Vigo
Barcelona
now?
are 9th.
Yeah, Barcelona are 9th. I mean, in Germany, there's a little bit more parity. I know Bayern's still running away, but once you get past Bayern, I mean, it's kind of all over the place at the moment.
Right,
I think
right.
PSG have struggled an unusual amount. Italy's kind of, Juve wasn't even in the top 4 earlier this season when I looked. So, I mean, it's just, I think it's the schedule, the nature of things. Everybody's struggling a bit. I don't think it is
David,
shit.
say it with me. The league is done. Stay with me.
well,
No, we'll see. We'll see.
I
We'll
agree.
see. Not
Done.
going that far, but
I agree with
Mr.
David.
Spurs are shit. Final
No.
word on the league, and then we need to wrap.
I agree with David. It's been like 6 seasons since we had a quote unquote normal league. Like Leicester won it, and then Chelsea won like the first 17 matches, and then City won like the first 18 matches, and then City and us got like 90 million points, and then we won it by January. So we're due a normal season, and the league's more normal. I don't know if it's done. If we can get through January with a noticeable gap, I think we'll be in good shape.
It's done.
Well, one thing we can agree on: Liverpool, top of the league.
Top of the league.
Top of the league.
Liverpool, top of the league. Liverpool.
The intro is shite. If you thought the intro was shite, wait till you hear us sing together.
All right, guys. I'm Darius.
I can't be too loud.
I'm Jordan.
It is what it
I'm
is.
David.
I'm Andrew the Elf.
That's Santa.
He's Buddy the Elf. Okay. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Up the Reds.
Up the Reds. Let's go.
Wow.